Lil Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I'm the best reporting on the Eagles. Before we get into the meat and potatoes, I just gotta say thank y'all. You know what I'm saying? Always rocking with me. Big print champs, anything that I do musically, y'all know y'all my heart. Let's get into it. Lunchtime with the bullies. We gonna talk about it. We gonna experience it. You know what I mean? A lot of reports been going on, man, since camp. Since some training camps and things like that have happened, we have seen some interesting developments. We've seen players, new players step up. My guy Craig, what's going on, Craig? Knight Rider, what up? Devin Mallet, what up, what up, what up? DeJuan Banks, what up with it? Yes, sir. We about to get into it. But, you know, since camp started, we've seen some interesting developments. We've seen players look better. Players appear to look like better versions of themselves. We've seen the Philadelphia... Stu Vision, what up? We've seen the Philadelphia Eagles change things up as far as, you know, punt return and things of that nature. And, you know, I've been saying this. You know what I mean? I've been saying this. I've been saying that I feel like Jalen Hurts looks better. From throwing motion to just something looks more upbeat. You know what I mean? It could have something to do with that quarter milli. You know what I mean? It could have something to do with that quarter bill that he signed. But, you know, something just looks different when you look at Jalen Hurts this season. I think there's more confidence there. You know, the third season, going into the third season in the same system, so to speak. I mean, come on, man. The comfortability is there. So reports have come out. Reports have come out of... you know, the Philadelphia Eagles organization expecting Jalen Hurts to take another step. So, you know, I posted on Twitter, you know, yesterday. What does my guy Stu Vision said, word to Kiss fire. I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. If you don't know, man, Word to Kiss, man, is on all streaming platforms, man. Make sure you tap in with that. It's the first single from God Bless Who Hatin'. That's coming out this summer. So yeah, tap in, man. That's how I'm coming, man. But yeah, they talk about the development of Jalen Hurts. They talk about Jalen Hurts potentially, you know, taking another step. These are things that the organization is happy about. You know, they're raving about these things, so to speak, and a lot of people are paying attention to it. So I put on Twitter, you know, what does a next step from Jalen Hurts look like? And it's surprising. A lot of people are saying statistical achievements, and I'm going to have to just disagree with that. You know what I mean? One guy, go ahead and check it. Probably my last 3 or 4 tweets or something like that. One guy said, you know, a 30 touchdown passing season. One guy said, you know, 4,000 passing yards. But none of that stuff don't get you the ultimate goal for real, for real. None of it gets you the ultimate goal. So when you're talking about, you know, the next step for Jalen Hurts being statistically driven, I think that, you know, statistics has ruined the way we view football. You know what I mean? It's ruined the way we view football and think of good players. They're saying Hurts has a tighter spin on the ball, and he came back stronger up top. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that in his development. I can see the tighter spin on the ball. I can see him being a better passer for sure this upcoming season. But that's not really the next step for him, because last season we shown that he's an elite passer from the pocket. Everybody doubted that he could do that. So why is it now that a lot of people have this mentality that he has to do it again? Why do he have to do it again? We would like him to be, we would like the team to be just as good as they were last year and reaching the Super Bowl again. We all would like that. We all would like that. But, you know, to put it all on what Jalen Hurts has to do again, I think it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird because Jalen Hurts can have 4,000 passing yards and 30 touchdowns. In fact, I guarantee he'll have a 4,000 passing yard season and 30 touchdowns. But you might not make the Super Bowl. What's more important? What is more important? The next step for Jalen Hurts, in my opinion, is just playing 17 games. Playing 17 games. Knowing when to slide. Not taking so many violent hits. That's the next step for Jalen Hurts. Everything else is, in terms of playing quarterback, we good right there, y'all. We good right there. We want to throw for 30 touchdowns just to rub it in the faces of guys who never been in the championship game? We're not worrying about that. We're not worrying about that. If you do a top 30 quarterbacks list right now, top 32, whatever, if you do a top 30 quarterback list right now, from the ranges of 15 to 20, you're gonna have a lot of 4,000 yard passers and a lot of 30 touchdown seasons right there. from the ranges of 15 to 20. I'm talking about that Cousins range, that Carr range. You know what I'm saying? That Dak Prescott range. In that range, you're going to have some 4,000 passing yards. And guess what else you don't have? A championship game, a Super Bowl appearance, an All-Pro. Come on. What's more important? So the statistical achievements in terms of what the next step look like, it ain't got nothing to do with the play on the field of the quarterback. It had nothing to do with that. It's all about now him taking care of himself. That's the next step because we know we got a quarterback. We know he can play the game. We know the mental mindset that Jalen Hurts possesses is easily to be seen on film. We know. Now the next step for me is playing 17 games. Playing 17 games. Because those 2 games he missed cost him MVP. Cost him MVP. You know what I mean? It cost him MVP. It cost him 4,000 passing yards. He only missed it by 300 yards. It cost him that. It cost him a little bit of statistical success that everybody liked to hone on. It cost him that. You already made it to the Super Bowl. I guess the next step would be staying healthy and winning it. All of that, be the franchise leader in touchdown passes. All of that is irrelevant, y'all. It's irrelevant. We're in the business of winning football games, man. We're in the business of winning football. Do y'all know a number of games that we won last season? We were so dominant that Jalen Hurts didn't even have to play in like 3-4 quarters. He missed 3-4 quarters, 3/4 quarters during the season because we were so good, and 2 games. To not play in the 4th quarter 3 times is ridiculous, man. Come on, man. That's ridiculous. I'm not in the business to pat the stat pad, bro. We have a deeper mindset than what everybody else is, man. Listen, this is when you know that you down bad as a sports fan, for real, for real. When you have to cling on to statistical achievements, come on, it's not really about that for me, man. When you gotta cling on to statistical achievements, you have no other marker to stand on, bro. I'm trying to stand on business. I'm trying to stand on success. So the next step for Jalen Hurts for me is staying healthy. That's it. Knowing when to slide. And I think he figured that out after he missed the 2 games. I think he figured that out last season. But, staying healthy, man. Staying healthy is the next step for the Philadelphia Eagles and as the next step for Jalen Hurts as the quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't care about none of them stats, bro. I don't care about none of them stats. You got to understand, to understand the kind of quarterback that you got. Like, a lot of people don't want to understand what we got going on in Philly because they not in Philly. Like, I don't expect the Dallas Cowboys fan, you know what I mean, to understand the impact that Jalen Hurts has on the football field when he's on the field. I'm not expecting them to get that. All they're going to do is go down the stats and say he ain't better than Dak Prescott. But they're going to leave out 13 rushing touchdowns and 700 yards to fight their case. You can't expect people who don't have your quarterback to understand the value that your quarterback brings to the table. You can't. He missed 2 games. They said anybody could win with the roster. Gardner Minshew stunk it up. Wet the bed. Wet the bed. We ain't had no Cooper Rush go 4-1 for us when our quarterback was out. We ain't had that luxury. So the importance of Jalen Hurts and what he brings to the football team is different. Career year for Smitty, career year for A.J. Brown. Different. It's much different, bro. It's much different, man, when your quarterback can control the game the way Jalen Hurts does. So sometimes the stats might not look pretty. But he do things like throw for 150 and run for 150 against the Packers. Controlling the game, bro, in any way possible to win. You know what I'm saying? You can't be mad at us that my quarterback has multiple skill sets and he could do it anyway. You can't be mad. And that's not a knock. That's not a knock. So what we got to do is we got to stop being so used to seeing guys do things one way. You got to stop being so used. Do you know how hard it is to defend a guy who can throw and run to the degree that Jalen Hurts can throw and run? Jalen Hurts is now an elite passer from the pocket who can run. A splitting image of Russell Wilson, of prime Russell Wilson. is Jalen Hurts. A splitting image, bruh. A splitting image. Once Russell Wilson got older, he didn't run as much. A splitting image, bruh. Do y'all know how comfortable Jalen Hurts about to look in his pocket next year, bruh? Do y'all know how comfortable this dude was in the pocket last year? The throws that he made? Again, I'm not asking you to accept it, or I'm not asking you to admit it if you ain't a Philadelphia Eagles fan. Because if I was a fan of another team in the division, I would still say I gotta see it again, probably. I probably would still say I gotta see it again because I would be salty and I would be a hater just like them. I would be a salty hater just like them. A salty hater. They all said in the NFC East, they said he'd be benched by week 6. He went from the worst quarterback in the division to the best quarterback in the division. And it's justifiable, bruh. It's justifiable. Winning is all that matters, man. When your team don't succeed in the postseason, all you could do is talk about stats that nobody care about. That's all you could do. Talk about stats that nobody care about. Look at it. The Commanders, all they care about is talking about week 10. They didn't even make the playoffs, y'all. They didn't make the playoffs. They out here thinking that Sam Howell about to be somebody. Week 10 was the greatest experience of their lives in the last 25 years. No, they didn't win since 92. In the last 31 years. Week 10 has been the greatest experience of their lives. Make it make sense. Why should we care or worry or be stressed about what a Commanders fan talking about? The Giants. They can't beat us if we had 9 men on the field. We own them. Y'all seen a division game? Y'all seen a division game? We took turns. Did we beat them 3 times last year? They belong to us. We got a leash on the Giants' neck. A leash. Then the Dallas Cowboys. The frauds that they are. All they happy about, we won 12 games the last 2 seasons. We put up 40 on the Eagles, but you put up 19 in the divisional round against Brock Purdy. This is the moral of the story. These other guys in the division got way bigger fish to fry than the Philadelphia Eagles. They are patiently sitting on the sideline waiting on our downfall. When theirs has already begun. Imagine having a quarterback for 8 years. Be the longest tenured quarterback on any team. I'm talking about Dak. Yeah, I am. Imagine having that guy as your quarterback, but still having to tweet stuff out like, I can't wait for the season to start so Dak can prove y'all wrong. He been in the league 8 years. He about to be 30. That's still your message? You can't wait for Dak to prove everybody wrong? We ain't the same. We're not the same. That ain't my message no more. I don't have to say that about my quarterback. He's 24. I ain't got to say that about my quarterback. I can't wait for him to prove nobody. Hey, listen, you might not like the stats, but I'm going to tell you what the Eagles like. 250 million. We like that. So thinking he got to excel, you know, statistically is ridiculous. He just got a $250 million contract. Mario Cavaggio, thank you for the super chat. Mario C, yo, nothing matters. The team is locked in. The young talent bringing the edge they need. Exactly, man. None of that statistical stuff matter. All that matters is we inflict our pain and inflict our will on whoever we line up against on Sunday. None of it matter. Rule girl, what's going on? None of it matter. SL Green, it's all love, LB. What's all love? You know what I'm saying? None of that matter, man. I don't care about no QB lists, no top rank. Listen, Jalen Hurts a top 5 guy. Well, we shouldn't even be having to have these conversations no more, man. He a top 5 guy. Yeah, he a top 5 guy. Uh-huh. Top 5 guy. Some say top 3. Leapfrogged a lot of them. Oh, my God. Leapfrog Josh Allen. Leapfrog Justin Herbert. Leapfrogged a lot of them, bruh. Meanwhile, they have Dak in a blowout. They have Dak in a blowout to pass that. Yeah, no, bro. The Cowboys be up 3 touchdowns and Dak throwing a touchdown on the 1-yard line to pad the stats. We different, man. We different organizations. We different fan bases. We different human beings. We different, bruh. We different. That's what you call robbing the game. That's cheating the game right there. That's cheating the game right there. That's called trying to look sweet. You ain't really like that. You ain't really like that. That's what you call trying to look sweet. You ain't really like that, bruh. You ain't like that. You ain't like that, man. They frauds over there, bro. They are big time frauds. You can see tweets, and you can see so many tweets from Dak rookie year of how they was praising rushing touchdowns, yo. Do you think we'll have another 1K running back or have a fully running back? I think it's gonna be running back by committee. I don't think we're gonna have a 1K guy this season. I think we're gonna have a 650-yard guy, a 750-yard guy, and a 450-yard guy. I think we're just gonna be a disturbing force on the ground. Washington is screwed for years to come. Washington done already, bro. Washington winning 5 games this season. Washington winning 5 games this season. You know what I'm saying? Washington winning 5 games this season. I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to tell you some real stuff, though. Don't be surprised if Daniel Jones is the second best quarterback after the season over. Don't be surprised by it. Come on now. Hurts had all them rushing touchdowns, padding his stats, too. How's that padding your stats, rushing in for a QB sneak? How's that stat padding? That don't even make sense. Clearly, we could have threw from the 1-yard line if we wanted. But how's that stat padding? He had 750 rushing yards. That ain't stat padding. The yards match the TDs, buddy. They match the TDs, buddy. You gotta get it together. The yards match the TDs, buddy. Back-to-back season, 700 rushing yards, 10+ touchdowns. Ain't nothing stat padding about that. D Swift might have a stack though. I can't really say he can't. What kind of defense I think the Eagles gonna run? I think we're gonna stay with our 2 linebackers set for real. Somebody gonna play big nickel. Right now, what they're looking at in camp right now is from the safety position. Blankenship got to start with Edmonds. So it's interesting to see where Sidney Brown is gonna come into play, because I think Sidney Brown could be, one of them guys like very, very soon for the Philadelphia Eagles. But like a 4-3. You know what I mean? I really want to see us play a 4-3. A lot of cover 3 for sure. You know what I mean? We got the personnel to do anything on the defensive side of the ball. So honestly, your guess is as good as mine on what the Philadelphia Eagles are gonna run as a defensive scheme. But you got everything. You can run whatever defense you want. You're not lacking in any areas. When you went out there and got Nolan Smith, who could play on the ball or off the ball, you know what I mean? That was a power move for your defense. That could really set you up. The most impactful D lineman for the Eagles this year, what do I think? I'm going to go with Jordan Davis. I'm going to go with Jordan Davis this year. I'm going to say Fletcher and Jordan Davis and Milton Williams will be equally dominant and on the same level. And Jalen Carter is going to be a good rookie as well. So I think as a whole, we're going to be good. It's kind of hard to call who's going to be that one. It could be Fletch. You know what I mean? Fletch had 7 sacks last year. My guy Silas, what up? They're going to continue to hate because the truth hurts. Facts. Thank you for the super chat, brother. What's up with Barnett? Ain't heard nothing. Barnett's still around. Barnett's still around. He's still on the roster. Looking at a redemption year. Listen, Barnett not a bum. Barnett is not a bum. You know what I mean? If Barnett can stay healthy, that's a good rotational piece for us. That's a good rotational piece for us. You know what I'm saying? The defensive line is stacked again, man. You got to understand, man. When you went and got Jalen Carter, you made a statement. You made a statement. And I kept telling people this, man. When all the Bijan Robinson stuff was going on, I kept telling y'all, like, you got to know your team when it comes draft time. You got to know your GM. You got to know what your GM deems as important. The Philadelphia Eagles deem having offensive linemen and defensive linemen amongst the top of their priority going into the draft. That's what we do. Cam Jurgens really ain't even have any meaningful minutes yet. Was a high pick. When Kelsey and Fletcher Cox decide to leave, we straight, bruh. We straight. We straight. Being as though you make yourselves this straight in the trenches, you don't have to address it in the first round all the time. You don't have to address it in the first round all the time. How is it okay for Patrick to inject something that was considered legal, but we do the same legal move, and that's push the quarterback is a problem? It's only a problem when the Eagles do it. Facts. I don't know what Patrick injected or whatever, man, but it is what it is, man. We just gonna take that loss. You got to take that loss. We lost. You know what I mean? We lost. You heard about LB Ellis? No, I ain't heard about Ellis. What about Ellis? Got it very well. Can go crazy this year. Nobody bring up Dak record against winning teams. They don't want to do that. You know what I mean? They don't want to do that. It's not even against winning teams to me, dog. It's the divisional round, dog. It's the divisional round. How many? He got 4 divisional round losses. You know what I mean? And listen, I don't think he's the top 10 quarterback. I don't think he's a top 10 quarterback. It's not no hate, bruh. It's like they want to paint it as hate because he a division rival. What's going on, Michael? You know what I mean? They want to paint it as hate, but it's the truth, though. It's the truth, man. It's the truth. It's the truth. You're the longest tenured guy on the team in the National Football League. Nobody been with their team longer than you. I think Kirk Cousins might be the second person over there in Minnesota. Nobody been with their team longer than you. You've accomplished nothing, bruh. You've accomplished nothing. In the fashion that your 2 last playoff losses occurred, I can't call you a top 10 quarterback. I don't care what you did statistically in the regular season. Go to war for once for your squad. Put it on the defense, bro. You lost both games with the ball in your hand, bro. With the ball in your hand. My top 10 quarterbacks right here, man. I'm going to try to do one right off the cuff. But Patrick Mahomes, in no order. I'm going to go Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow. I'm going to go Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence. I really like the season Trevor Lawrence had last year. Aaron Rodgers. Based on this is just based off like last year with a mixture of what I think they're gonna do this year. Geno Smith, I really like the season Geno Smith had last year. Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson. Who am I missing? Who am I missing? Yeah, I said Trevor Lawrence like at 5. You know what I'm saying? Who am I missing? You know, and Dak is not like extremely outside of the top 10. You know what I mean? But I can't with confidence say that he was better than Daniel Jones last year. You know what I mean? I can't with confidence say he was better than Daniel Jones last year. I can't with confidence say he was better than Kirk Cousins last year. Did I miss Burrow? I don't know, man. It's a couple of guys I can't with confidence say he was better than. You know what I mean? So if Dak in my top 10, he had 10. He had 10, but I just can't with confidence, you know, be like, that's a for sure top 10 quarterback. There's nothing special about him. Jared Goff, okay, I would put Jared Goff ahead of Dak Prescott. I would put Jared Goff ahead of Dak Prescott at the 10th spot. I would put Jared Goff ahead of Dak Prescott at the 10th spot. You know what I mean? Because, listen, man, missing that many games and leading the league in picks, come on, man, we got to be for real about this. We got to be for real about this. But at the same time, you know what I mean? I feel like the wide receiver list is the hardest list to make, man. The wide receiver list is the hard. I don't even want to tell y'all my top 10 wide receiver list, man. I just feel like there's going to be so much unnecessary controversy behind it. But I'm going to keep it all the way a stat on what I feel. You know what I mean? When it's time to do this wide receiver list, yo. Because this is the facts of the matter. It's like 15 to 17 wide receivers in the National Football League who are top 10 worthy. But you only got 10 slots. You only got 10 slots. A lot of people don't mention guys like Mike Evans, who has never had a season under 1,000 yards. Never. Like 9 straight years, Mike Evans has had a 1,000-yard season. You know what I'm saying? People don't mention in their top 10 guys like Jalen Waddle. You know what I mean? They don't mention that. Jalen Waddle, first season as a rookie, I think he had over 100 catches, 1,100 yards. You add Tyreek Hill to the equation, he gives you 1,300 yards with playing alongside Tyreek Hill. Amon-Ra St. Brown last year, for Detroit as a rookie was really, really solid. Devontae Smith, Terry McLaurin, these are the type of guys that could be left off of a top 10 list. DK Metcalf, some people might not have DK in it. It gets spooky when you're talking these top 10 wide receivers, bro. It get really, really spooky, man. It get really, really spooky. So you never know, bro. You never know. Well, now he got Baker. Baker looking like hot buns. Hot buns at the barbecue. Baker looking bad in practice. But that's the nature of the beast, man. That's the nature of the beast. When you don't got time no more. But hey, didn't he have Jameis Winston? Do you think Smitty's a top 10 wide receiver? Listen, I gotta get you. Yes, Smitty is a top 10 wide receiver. Smitty is a top 10 caliber wide receiver. You know what I mean? Asking if he made my list is two different questions because, like I said, it's about 17 top 10 guys, but you only got 10 spots. You only got 10 spots, bro. It's so hard, bro. It's hard. It's hard. I think Jalen Waddle is better than CeeDee Lamb. I think Jalen Waddle is better than CeeDee Lamb. I think Jalen Waddle had a better year than CeeDee Lamb last year. But at the end of the day, they both top 10 wide receivers. They both top 10 wide receivers. You know what I'm saying? They both top 10 wide receivers, bro. It's so hard. That's the hardest list in the National Football League to make. You can't be mad at nobody's list if they leave off CeeDee Lamb and have Jalen Waddle. You can justifiably not be mad at that, yo. You cannot be mad at that. Give my guy Amon one more season, he might make top 10. I agree. Do I think Renfrow will be a good signing for punt return team? Yeah, I do. I want us to give those punt return snaps to Boston Scott. I think he's the best option on the team. I don't know why we don't use him back there. You know what I'm saying? Boston Scott definitely started to produce once they inserted him back there. That need to be his job. He can still get some running back snaps, but I think Boston Scott should be, you know what I mean, more of a punt return guy for the Philadelphia Eagles. They make the bet. You know, when I had Trey Thomas on the show earlier in the season, he made a good point, man. When we had Reno Mahe, you know, those guys make really solid punt return guys, bro. Running backs. You know, that was a great point. What I think about Sean D, our defensive coordinator, I like him, man. I like his philosophy, man. I like the fact that he blitzes a little more than Gannon. And I think that, you know, N'Kobe Dean is going to surprisingly be a part of some real creative blitz packages. CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, and Brandon Cook. Pick your poison, Eagles fan. And Lord, Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis is overrated. Whatever, man. If y'all had drafted Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, you would have, come on, bro. You'd have been playing in baby oil. Stop it. Y'all got to stop capping like that, man. Y'all got to stop capping like that. Now every Dallas Cowboy fan in the world automatically knew Mozzie Smith was better than Jalen Carter. Y'all wasn't even talking about that dude, man. Y'all wasn't even talking about that dude. Okoye Media was the only dude talking about Mozzie Smith, man. I probably was talking about Mozzie Smith before y'all. Stop it, man. Cut it out. People just that's what I'm talking about. That's the fair. CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, and Brandon Cook. Yeah, that's a good trio of wide receivers. Hopefully Michael Gallup healthy. D-Hop has no off-the-field issues, never speaks to media. The Heat looking scary, they might do it. Man, it's 1-1. How the Heat looking scary? But, you know, it's a definitely a good NBA Finals, man. A lot of people slept on this one, man. A lot of people, like, for rating purposes, I guess, was trying to say it was going to be, you know, just a tough watch. But, no, it's competitive basketball, man. It's competitive basketball. Definitely competitive basketball. But could have sworn that Dallas is going to turn into a running team. I don't know. That's what they said. A lot of them want to talk about how elite Dak is, but in the same breath, they want to say Dak shouldn't be throwing so much. Like, which one is it? You know what I mean? Which one is it? I can't wait to see them, dog. We're going to dog walk them. And I'm going to Dallas. My plans are to go to Dallas. My plans are to go to Dallas. How do you think we can most effectively use our remaining cap space? Buda Baker. Why Josh Allen on the front of Madden? I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. If Josh Allen is the cover athlete for the Madden, the new Madden 24, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's Josh Allen or not. But you know, Josh Allen, wasn't he second in interceptions this year? You know what I mean? I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it. You know, with the Josh Allen thing is different. You know, the Cowboys love to compare, you know, Dak Prescott and Josh Allen because of the turnover situation. But the facts of the matter is Josh Allen probably only one of like 3 quarterbacks that has thrown for 35 plus touchdowns the last 3 years in a row. Like Josh Allen is different than Dak Prescott. It's much different. Josh Allen also been in a championship game before. It's much different than Dak Prescott, man. But they, you know, they get weird. They get weird over there and try to prove their case for their boy. You know what I mean? The biggest thing that they trying to tell me right now is Peyton Manning ain't won a Super Bowl to his 8th year. But Peyton Manning was an All-Pro and an MVP before that, though. Tell us the whole story about what Peyton Manning did. Dak Prescott has not been an All-Pro, has not been an MVP, has not been in a championship game. Dak Prescott is Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins. And it's not no hate. We just got to stop calling people what they is. Y'all need a quarterback over there. And he need to change the scenery. Maybe he'll be better if he goes somewhere else, but it ain't happening there. Probably too much pressure on his tiny heart. Don't put Hurts on the cover. Hurts deserve to be on the cover. Hurts deserve to be on the cover. I'm there, LB, for sure. I'm going to tap in. If you pull up last year, I had tickets and called Culver, bro. I was mad, but at the same time, I wasn't because Hurts didn't play. Yeah, we definitely could link. We definitely could link. We definitely could link if I get down there, man. My man don't live too far from there. So, you know what I mean? We definitely can link. We definitely can make something happen. But this definitely concludes Lunchtime with the Bullies. I want y'all to have a productive Monday. Have a productive Monday. I'm going to say it again. Have a productive Monday, man. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your families. 468 people in the chat. You already know the vibes. More content coming tonight. More content coming for the rest of the week. That's how we going to carry it. Y'all be safe and drink water, bruh. Drink water. It's getting hot out here.